Hello everyone, this is Sai Reshmanjali and I am with my teammate Tani Hussain, and this is the final project for the Web Programming Spring 2022 class. So the topic that we were trying to solve is um, this problem, which is buying and selling properties needs a lot of research and it can be exhausting sometimes. So we thought, what if we can bring the property buyers and sellers together using a single platform? So this is what we're trying to solve. So we came up with this idea called the Property Carnival, which acts as a single platform for both the buyers and sellers of the property. So these are the unique features about our business model. So making the portal for uniting both the buyers and the sellers, and where sellers can actually list the property details that they want to sell, and the buyers can actually browse through the already listed properties and can mark them as favorite and can also review and pay for them later. Buyers can also buy the properties by using the credit card. We have the credit card system as well, and there's also an admin portal who can actually manage everything. So these are the main features that we have. So for doing this project, we have made use of the agile methodology called the Scrum. So Scrum is basically a framework that helps people and teams and organizations to solve the problems which are complex, and it's just a framework that has lots of rules, roles, events, and artifacts, and these are used to implement agile projects. So it is an iterative approach consisting of lots of sprints that typically only last 1 to 4 weeks. So at the end of every sprint, a deliverable is the output of the sprint. Scrum is a very systematic resolution meeting. It has lots of meetings and in which people work together, more like a rugby team, and it encourages the process of learning through experiences. These are basically the Scrum values where each and every member of the team has the courage to rightly point out if something is going wrong, and they also focus on single thing as a team, and they are committed to delivering what they have planned. And in this, all the members will have respect for each other and their work, and they are always open to learn from others. So these are basically the Scrum team. The Scrum team basically consists of a Scrum Master, PO, product owner, and some developers. So product owner is the one that has the vision for the product, and he would be the deciding one of what features to go in and what to remove or ignore. And developers are the ones that actually build the features, they build the software and release it. And Scrum Master is basically the one who will make sure that everything is in sync and the teams are moving and the work is being done. So here's a simple UML diagram for our entire project. Since we have three basic users, buyers, sellers, and admin, we have the three actors. So the admin would be able to register the users. So he would be able to manage the users and also the properties that we have in the system. The buyer will have most of the abilities, which is to register and to log in and then browse the properties, adding them to favorites and making them as making the payment. And the seller, on the other hand, could obviously register and log in. Along with that, he could add the properties that he wants to sell. And the main elements within our database are these tables called the user properties and booked properties. Booked properties are nothing but the favorited properties. So here we can just see how each of these tables were organized within our database. So this basically is our users table where we have the username, first name, last name, middle name, email, and cell phone number, and the email ID and password, the general basic user registration page. And here we have the structure of our property table where the details of the property are stored. So they basically have an ID, the name, the type of the property, whether it is townhome or an apartment, and the location where the property is located at. The area is nothing but the size, the lot size, or the lot size of the property, and there's also price for that property. So these are the details that we're trying to store within our property table. Later we have booked properties table, which basically holds what are the properties that were favorited by a particular user. So each user, you have a username and the property number that he had favorited. And for the implementation, Tanya will continue.
Thank you, Reshma, for explaining the problem and our business model. Let's see how we actually implemented the system. So this is basically the first page of our system, our home page, and we used some components to make this user appealing. So here we have used our navbar, and this navbar is consistent throughout the application. And in the code snippet, you can see that how did we implemented the navbar. Next, we have this About Us page where we have explained what is our motive and what our people should be looking for in our system and what do we actually do. And we have used the slider for making this more user-friendly for the users and so that user can understand what do we exactly do through this process. After that, we have our sign up portal. So from the sign up page, we can, all the users can sign up using the single page. Here you can see that we have used our radio button for understanding that which type of user is registering through this portal. And you can see the code snippet for the radio buttons. Later, while signing up, we need to insert some password, right? So for validating that password, we have used some JavaScript code to check the passwords and if that matches to our requirements, and also so that our user understands that what kind of password we are expecting. We have listed out the requirements and those are red in the beginning, and once the user is meeting those one of the requirements, we are making it green. Once all the requirements are made green, that means the user have passed the password validation. Um, Later on, we are doing using this drop-down toggle menu to access the all three portals of our website. So we have our buyer, seller, and admin portal, and we can use this using this single access point. And here you can see the code for the toggle drop-down menu. And we are here comes the login part. So in the login part, we have two types of users, right? So we don't have separate login for all of them. For making it easy for all our users, we are using one single UI for login for all the users. But in the backend, we are importing some logic to identify which kind of user has logged in and take them to their respective home pages. So here you can see that based on the logic, if our type is buyer, we are taking them to our buyer homepage, or if the type is seller, we are taking them to the seller homepage. Here we can see the seller homepage. So the seller's job is basically adding properties. So here you can see when the seller logs in, he can get um, form for adding his properties, and we need some details of the property like property ID, type, name, etc. And here we are using forms and form groups to add these properties. This is our buyer's homepage. So what our buyer can see, so our buyer can basically see the list of all available properties and their details, type, location, area, price, everything. And the buyer can add each property to its favorites list, which they can view later on, and they can delete or add more stuff to that favorite list and then make some payment and buy the property. Easy, right? um, so here we can see the buyer's favorite list and the price summary. So in the list you can see that all the properties that buyer have added as favorite are here, and we are just giving the buyer have also another option called delete. So any of the property listed, the buyer can delete it and the summary price will be updated according to that. And here you can see we have a payment option. Using that, the buyer can proceed to make a payment. So let's see the make payments option. So here we have some real systems for making our payment. We have our card number, expiration date, CSV code, everything that we need for making a payment. And through using that, user can make their payment. So here, another interesting feature that we have in our system, that is based on the credit card details that have been put, we can identify which type of card it is. So in this, we are using, for implementing this, we are using regex and comparing functions to see if the inserted card is American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, anything. So in this button, you can see initially it was card type, no card was given here. Later on, it was American Express. It detected based on the number given here. Here comes our admin login portal. So as you have seen in the initial drop down, we had three users, right? So for the other two types, we are using a login page. For admin, we are using this basic HTML authentication system, because in our system, we have only one admin who can control our properties and users. So here you can see the code snippet for the HTML authentication. Once an admin is logged in, he reaches its home page. The admin right now have three options. One is add users. Admin can add users to the system and see all the properties and see all users. So admin can see all existing users and see all existing properties and tweak them as per the convenience. So we can see in the next page. So here you can see that the admin can see the existing user list, and the admin can delete any of the users if they need. So this feature is basically implemented to prevent scams or any type of unethical use of the system. So here comes the bonus part of the project. So handling some business challenges that we know that we can anticipate that we are going to face through our system. So the first challenge is, so right now we have only one admin, uh, and only one admin can register and do the controlling and maintaining thing. But when the system becomes big later on, we might need a bunch of admins to control the system. So that we do not have right now. So to solve that problem, we can make a super admin account who would be able to add more admins, and those admins can log in with their credentials and uh, do their admin work. So our second challenge is, right now we have only two types of users, right? We have buyers and sellers, and we can create a buyer type of account, a seller type of account, and those two accounts have different jobs. Buyers can buy properties, see the properties, and sellers can add new properties to be sold. So if a buyer wants to sell a property or vice versa, they need to add another account of different type. So to overcome this challenge, we should add another option when a user can register as both as buyer and seller, so that they can do both the things. Our second challenge is, right now the user, if they want to see the property, the views and stuff, we do not have any option for uploading videos. So later on, maybe while user seller is adding a property, we might give them an option to upload some media files so that they can upload the videos of their systems, and the buyers can see the preview along with the um, system and the 3D views or 360 views, so it will make them easier to make the decision. So we have implemented the solution for our business challenge too. So what we have done in our sign up portal, previously you have seen we had only buyer and seller option. Here we have added a both option. So while registering, a user can sign up as both buyer and seller, and then we'll allow them both the